Matt Lenihan Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight Store and Forged Irish Stout. We are here, San Francisco weighing day. This has been an incredible build-up. It's a terrific fight. It's going to be sold out in here on Saturday night. How excited is you, as someone who's helped obviously put this event together, yourself, Eddie Hearn and Matchroom, and we're going to see a spectacular event this weekend?
Yeah, buzzing. Look, it's a massive fight. You don't see atmospheres like that in the US at weigh-ins. You don't see it at shows. So especially at the weigh-ins to create something like that. It's going to be packed out in here tomorrow night. We took a risk coming to the Chase Centre. I'll be honest with you, we didn't think it would be as big and do as well as it has done.
Was it originally supposed to go to Vegas, this?
There was talk about Vegas, yeah. We were looking at a number of options, and then this came together, and I think it's been a brilliant decision. There's going to be some atmosphere, and it sets something up for the future as well. And these are the kind of fights people want to see, and that's what it comes down to as well. It comes down to great fights, and this is a great fight.
You've obviously branched out as a global promotion to all parts of the world. The US has obviously been a key part of this thing with DAZN coming to San Francisco, having a major event here. How pleasing is it that obviously it has gone like this, because you do take a risk dipping into a market where you're unsure. Any other sort of parts of the United States that you've not sort of been to yet where you think should be on that tick box, that checklist to go, where you'd like to see a fight?
I'm sure there's a lot, to be honest with you. I've probably done events in, 15, 20 states now over the years. And this has been one that, we came here years ago, I think not our show, but when Andre Ward fought Paul Smith in Oakland, and, there was no one there. And it's about right time as well, and, creating the right buzz and the right event and at the right price. It's been... I think there's lots of other places we'd love to go to, but we're in a good place, and it's good to see, because we get a lot of stick from people saying about our position in boxing or US boxing, and when you see events like this, it's not created often. But there's been some great events this year in US boxing by all different promoters, and it's good for the sport. It's good that the sport's growing like that.
I'm going to say, in terms of a year for boxing, I think I had this chat with Dave Goldwell 2 days ago. In terms of seeing big fights get made, can't really fault this year, and obviously what we're going to see in December and moving on into next year, long way to continue. Look, I spoke to Jack Catterall earlier. He's obviously keen on a fight with the winner, but Josh Taylor's been very vocal on Twitter. Says it's an 80% cut from the first fight, and the second fight's going to be considerably bigger. I know he doesn't have them all the belts anymore, but 80% cut. What do you make of these comments?
I'm not sure where he's come up with that number, to be honest with you. It's definitely not an 80% cut. I'm sure it's less than he got before. He's coming off the back of, was it 2 losses in a row? Or
his defeat to Tiafimo.
Yeah, but so it changes. It changes the dynamic of the fight. And it does change the value. I'm not saying it's it's all dependent. It's about creating great fights, but it's not the same fight it was. Yeah.
Domestically though, still a huge fight, and I was speaking to Jack and I said obviously this isn't about belts for you, that particular fight. That should have been a fight with belts obviously before, but this is about pride and it's personal now, so it's still a huge dust-up. Are you going to revisit the table and say, look, renegotiate kind of thing?
Yeah, we'll have a look, but it's definitely not 80%. That's the reality of it. No. It's definitely not 80% or less than 80%. I don't know, however he phrased it.
80% cut, I believe, is the tweet.
Yeah, that's definitely not the truth. But we'll look at it for sure. We want to make it happen. I still think it's a massive fight, hence why we want to do it. But everyone has to be sensible in order to get it over the line.
What's his options if he doesn't get the winner of this and the winner of or Josh Taylor? I mean, I think Richard Hitchinson was obviously has been sort of put together as a fight, and I think Eddie said, look, it's probably a fight neither of them are particularly wanting. But what do you make of that? And is that the next step for him? If not,
I think there's still other fights out there for him as well. Look, Richards and Hitchens' fight is a eliminator for the IBF world title, so would fight Matthias. I think, as Eddie said, it's both of them. I think we'll be looking at that, saying not sure about this, but we have to go away. There's a lot of action in the 140 division. Like you say, you got this fight Saturday night. Devin Haney saying he's going to go up to 147. So maybe that means there's opportunities here. Like if Devin Haney was to win, Regis Prograis was to win, does he go up? I don't know. We have to wait and see what happens this weekend. You got the Paro against Montana Love fight as well. Could be a great fight for the winner of that as well. There's lots of opportunity out there.
Otto Wallin come out and said that Anthony Joshua's nervous, unsure of himself, insecure. That's why he keeps changing trainers. Ben Davison won't be able to help him. Showing a lot of Jesus, just
like
change
being in a nightclub, isn't it?
Yeah, I
I
wish.
want to get rid of you.
Yeah, don't doubt that. What do you make of these comments from Otto? He's talking a big game.
Yeah, it's a game, isn't it? You know, it's all part of a fight. All of this talk. You know, AJ is the same as he's always been. You know, he's confident. Talk about the training thing. You know, he's been great with Ben Davison. You've seen a lot of clips of how he's looking in that camp. You know, and there's been a lot of discussion about the reasoning around that. You know, obviously with the time frames of going to Saudi, it didn't work out. Going to the US, Ryan Garcia was obviously had his fight, and that didn't work then with the date. So there was a lot of reasons behind that. But AJ's fully focused, and you know, he's not looking past December 23rd. But I think you're going to see a great performance from him.
Where are we at with Ben Eubank? This has been going on obviously a while now. I'm sure you're sick of answering. I'm getting sick of asking, but I feel like Eddie's obviously said a few days ago, look, we're coming into the final few days now. This will be at Tottenham if it happens. It will be on a certain date. He did allude to the fact that if the British board don't sanction it, you know, we get someone else to do it. Where are we at, and how close are we for seeing it finally over the line and done and dusted?
48, 72 hours. It's my famous last words. Now we're at that point now where if it's not done, like if it is not done this weekend, it is not happening.
Well, are you confident it does get done?
I'm as confident. I feel, if you ask me, I think it gets done, yes. But I'm not the man deciding.
Eddie says if this fight doesn't happen, it's completely down to Chris Eubank Jr. Is that the case? Like, is this down to him, numbers, money? What's holding this fight up? And like I said, what's your stance on if you don't get it sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control? Who is going to be the alternative sort of jurisdiction?
Again, when you're firstly talking about the alternative, it's hypotheticals until it's made. You know, we want to make the fight, that's the focus, first and foremost. Once we make the fight, that's the next bit. Conor Benn, we represent Conor Benn, and he is fighting, and he will be fighting, right? If it's not Chris Eubank Jr., he'll fight someone else. We want to make that fight. We're ready to go, Conor Benn's ready to go, and yeah, it will come down to getting a deal with Chris Eubank Jr., but he's obviously got to be happy, and that's with him to decide.
If Conor Benn doesn't fight Chris Eubank Jr., who does he fight? Obviously, he needs activity. He fought obviously in the States, got it sort of back under his belt. But he needs a big fight, and he's been very vocal about, you know, he's calling out like some boots tennis and everyone left, right, and centre. Might not be the next logical step, but what do you reckon? Who can he fight next?
He wants a big fight at 147. I don't think it should be boots tennis straight away, you know, but he wants to fight boots tennis. But there's a lot of names there. But that would be the focus, a big fight at 147 if we can't make this fight happen. Like I say, I'm still confident whether I'm right or wrong. You know, I've been wrong before, I've been right before. We've been down this road of the first time we made the fight, it took 10 or 11 weeks to make. It's no different this time round, it's taken the same amount of time. But now is the point, if it's not done by Sunday, it's not happening. And then we move on to those big 147 names.
Ideally it gets done late this evening or early tomorrow and you announce it at the fight.
Yeah, I think that's unlikely, but let's see.
Frank Smith, appreciate your time. Thanks for talking to Boxing Social. We'll catch up after the fight.
Cheers, mate.